a couple of new coaches, and just to update you on some of the programs upcoming in the fall. So that is what we're going to talk about. And I guess I'll start by kicking it over to Mike, and Mike can talk about the safety protocols. So Mike, you're on mute. So maybe Lawrence just needs to take you off of mute.
No.
Okay.
Mike Zinnerin?
Now.
Oh, there we go.
Okay,
Perfect.
Okay, so the protocols, what they're going to be like on October 10th, which is when we go indoors, we can only surmise and kind of, have a fairly accurate guess is what's going to happen. And we don't know, because the way things are now, things could change at any time. But based on what we're doing now, my assumption is that we will continue to do what we're doing, which is physical distancing, washing hands frequently, don't come to the club if you're sick. Now, I've just been visited also by the COVID police, and we have to wear masks when we're in the clubhouse, which includes going to the washroom. Okay, so outside no problem, but once you enter the clubhouse, it's mandatory that we wear masks. Indoors, people have asked, it's such a big space, is there any more danger indoors? Anybody I've talked to says they don't think so. We're 35 feet high on the ceiling, and it's like being outside when we're in our bubble.
Yeah, you mean the bubble. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's it, masks, physical distancing, washing hands, sanitizing where possible, and that's it for the protocols. When we're indoors, we will be able to play tennis and have round robins and do everything, but access to the clubhouse will be limited, and that's because of the size of it. We can probably only get 4 people in there safely physically distancing. So whenever we have socials, it will involve just being on the tennis court, no clubhouse activities for the foreseeable future. And I think, let me just check my list and see if we've got everything for protocols. I think we do. Yeah, the only thing I didn't mention that try to leave the clubhouse as quickly as possible once we go indoors, so not loitering around. Okay, and that's it.
It'll be just in and out.
Questions afterwards.
Yeah. Perfect. And then, Mike, could you please update us on some of the improvements at the club?
Sure. We've done some painting in various spots. Instead of that orange color, you're going to see a beautiful kind of light plum color as you enter the ladies' locker room. The 2 main things and the 2 thorns in our side, one, the lighting. So the lights will be thoroughly cleaned before we put the bubble in. What we've had in the past, because of the clay, it gets on top of the lighting because it's a flat surface and stays there. So as the months go by, it gets worse. So we will start off with a perfectly clean slate, and we intend in January to clean them again. So we're not going to wait the whole season on the same dirt. And that's the reason why the lights get dull, no other reason.
Yeah, and those lights are top of the line. But through us cleaning them like that, they're going to be beautiful. We'll have a great lighting throughout the indoor season.
Yeah, with LED lights, like they only diminish 10% over 25 years. So it's not the lighting itself that's the problem, it's the dust accumulating, the red clay. The other thing that we had a tough time with last year was the revolving doors. And there are two matters with the revolving doors. One, that accumulation of water when it rains heavily. The ground under the doors is low, so water finds its way there, and that's why you're walking through water when you're entering the clubhouse after a heavy rain. So what we're going to do is we're going to raise the doors, raise the ground underneath, so the water will not be able to accumulate. The other matter was the door was sticking and sometimes almost impossible to push, and that is because the bearings are gone. So there will also be a new revolving door when we go inside. So that should alleviate the problems with the door. I'm really looking forward to that.
For sure. And is that it, Mike?
Yeah, that's basically it. Yes.
Perfect. Great. Okay, so I'll move on into our new hires. So we are really excited. We have 2 new coaches coming on board, and I will mention actually that our coaching staff that we have had in the last year or 2 will remain the same. So nobody's leaving, everyone's still there. So we still have our great team together, but in addition, we're adding 2 more coaches. And so one coach, his name is Adam Svoboda, and he's been around the tennis industry in Canada for a long, long time. Actually played nationals against him when I was a little kid. So I'll give you an idea. You know, he was a top player. He was top 5 in the country in the juniors, and he's coached his whole career. So he has about 20 years of experience coaching adults, juniors, recreational, high performance. He has lots of great energy. And so unfortunately he wasn't able to be here tonight. He's actually on a well-deserved vacation. He's been working hard this summer. But you'll get to know Adam Svoboda this year, and he'll be available for lessons. And then in addition to Adam, we have Mikhail Kokta, otherwise known as Mike, he goes by. So Mike is originally from Czech Republic, and you know, he was a very high level player. So he made it as high as, I believe it was 356 ATP, which is quite impressive. Not many people in the world make it that high. Great experience. He was top 10 in the world in the juniors, made the semi-finals of the Australian Open. So I think I got that right, Mike?
You did.
Juniors. So incredible player. And then on top of that, his experience in the US coaching Division I NCAA teams has been really interesting. He's worked at 3 different universities down there, most recently Arizona State University, which is one of the top Division I schools in the US. And of course, and he's also very well educated. The guy has like 3 degrees. So, and a great guy. So maybe Mike, I don't know if you want to just say a few words quickly to say hello to.
Yeah. Nice to virtually meet everybody. I apologize, my Wi-Fi has been a bit spotty, so if I cut off, it's me, it's not you. Thanks, Greg, for the great intro. When I've decided to make the move up north to Canada, I was really looking forward for a program that's got a respected high performance department, as well as a reputation of attracting great people. And Ace Tenniscape coming up, and I've been here for a little less than a week working with you guys at Toronto Tennis City, and I already know that I've made the right decision. So I'm excited to be here. We got a great group of coaches, and yeah, happy to be up north in Canada.
Great. Yeah. So we're happy to have you, and right away, I mean, Mike, a great asset and getting along well with the staff, of course. And so we're happy to get things going. And he's not only going to be working with the high performance juniors, he will be available as well for some private lessons and so on with our adult membership. So definitely a great asset. So let's get into the programs a little bit. So this upcoming year, we will continue with a lot of the same programming that we did last year with the adults, but we'll add a couple of new things. But first, maybe Michael, if you could please speak about the ladder. Our ladder at the club has been a big success over the years. And this is a great way for our membership to get out on the courts and get a chance to play with different people, meet different people. And the beauty of it is that any level can join. And Michael will explain a little bit about how it works, the rules. And I know some of you I can see have been on the ladder on this call. But Michael, if you could explain a little bit how it works and when it's starting up again and so on.
Yeah, Craig is right. Our ladder is very, very popular at our club. I've been at other clubs, and we have a big portion of our membership that is on our ladder and uses the ladder to find games and people that are comparable for them to play. What we've done with the ladder is we have 3 large divisions consisting of 10, 12 people. The reason we went with the large divisions is because I found at other clubs that if you have a small division, say 5 people, one of them's injured, 2 don't return your emails, etc., you have nobody to play. But with 10 people and up per division, there are always people to play. For new people coming into the club, it's a fantastic way to meet people, not to cold call. Besides about meeting people through me, it's a great way to phone people, get involved, get playing, and then you find people that you really like to play out of those people, and you arrange games outside of the ladder. So it's been a really big success. We require to be on the ladder that you play 3 matches per period. A period usually is 6 to 8 weeks. 3 matches is not very many. Of course, we'd like you to play more, but 3 matches should be the minimum. I also ask people that go on the ladder, please return your emails, because there are a lot of people that don't do that. And it's very courteous and helpful to everybody to return emails sent to all members on the ladder. We do have some prizes, and the one prize is that the person with the best record receive a prize. It's usually a complimentary private lesson. The person with the worst record gets a private lesson from me. The person with the best record gets a private lesson from whichever coach they want. So that's one thing. But we've also have a prize for the person that plays the most matches. So in other words, you don't have to be a great player to win that prize. You just have to be active. And it's the same deal. It's a complimentary 1-hour private lesson if you succeed in being the person with the best record. So, you know, we encourage everybody to go on the ladder. The requirements are not great, but it's a great way to participate in our club.
Perfect. Thank you, Michael. Yeah, so and then in terms of the programming, what we're going to be doing this year, we'll have 3 different types of programming for adults. We'll have what we'll call series lessons. We'll have group lessons by level, and we'll have specialized lessons. So the series lessons include some things that you might have participated in before, like shot of the week, training a pattern of shots, and tactical training and point play. And the nice thing about those lessons is, first of all, you can sign up for the specific lesson that you want. In terms of, it's not a commitment for 4 weeks, for example. You pick and choose which week you'd like to participate. So for example, for the shot of the week, you might look and say, oh, I want to work on my backhand on the run, or my inside out forehand. And so you say, oh, you look and you're like, oh, on this date, they're doing inside out forehand. I'll sign up for that one. And then training a pattern of shots and tactical training point play will work the same way. And from week to week, those 3 types of lessons sort of build off of each other. So the shot of the week, you're going to be working on a specific shot that is from the training a pattern of shots. And then from the training a pattern of shots, well, then you'll go into the tactical training and point play, which puts it all together. And the coach is there to help you really learn how to, put together your patterns into match play. And so it's just a really good way, it's a fun way to learn and to improve. And again, people of all different levels can participate in those programs, because it is, especially the shot of the week and training of pattern shots, it's more feeding based. So there's going to be a lot of feedback, a lot of balls. You're going to get a lot of repetition on developing the specific shot and shot of the week and the specific pattern in training a pattern of shots. And then once you get into tactical training, well, that one will be a little bit more focused on putting you with players of comparable level. And then from there, there's the group lessons by level. So that's another one. So entity on its own. So that's more, it's if you're a 3.0, well, you'll sign up for a 4-week session with other 3.0 level players. Or if you're a 4.0, and same idea. And the idea is to build for the 4 weeks from week to week, build your game. And the idea is in fact, the content that we're going to be doing for, let's say, a 3.0 level player, what you'll be doing is you'll actually be working on specifics that will help you get to a 3.5, right? So that's the whole idea. So we're really looking at, that's always the goal. You might not get there in 4 weeks, but the idea is to, help you along that journey, make sure that you're focusing on the things that will help you get to the next level. And then finally, the specialized lessons. These ones are more, for one, we've got the tennis specific movement and workout. So it's going to be a good high intensity hour that will help you learn how to really move well as a tennis player on the court, and as well just give you a really good workout. And then another one that we want to initiate this year is really just try to get our high performance training for adults. So these are going to be for higher level players that are sort of 4.0 to 4.5 level, and really, train you hard. And then finally, as we always do, we'll set up our private groups. So if anyone's called Michael or I up and said, hey, my friends and I, we'd like to put together a little group, do you have anyone else similar level? And we can kind of form little groups of 3, groups of 4, and try to tailor specific lessons for your group. So those are the different lessons, type of group offerings that we'll have this upcoming year. And certainly if ever anyone has any other ideas or things that they'd be interested in, please let us know. Finally, the ladies leagues. Yes, we are going to put together teams for sure. Our goal is to have 2 teams again. We are going to be gauging interest. Isabella, if she has not reached out to you yet, she will soon. And the idea is to, let's see how many ladies we can get out on the court practicing. And in an ideal world, we will have our 2 teams again this year with the A1 and C1 teams. For those of you who are new to it, the ladies practice on Monday mornings. We'll probably continue with that same time. If we have 2 teams, it'll be 9 to 11 for the A team, 11 to 1 for the C team. If we have 1 team, well, we'll probably go 10 to 12 or something like that. We'll see. We're looking forward to getting that up and running. The league has said that they are not going to penalize teams who don't participate this year. A lot of clubs won't be able to do it. It's going to be kind of an interesting year, but we are 100% planning on getting this going. So we're excited about that, getting that up and running. And I will say as well that all of our programs for sure will be starting up once the bubble goes up. Because that's when we know everyone's back from the cottage and everyone's, ready to go. But for the month of September, the plan is to start to get going the shot of the week and training a pattern of shots. And for sure, if get the ladies' practices going and getting everything ready for the new season. Okay, so that's it for the programming. I think we can open it up to questions. We have 4 minutes left, but we started a little late, but that's okay. So if anyone has any questions at all.
So everybody's still on mute.
So Lawrence, if you could open it up.
There we go.
Hey Craig, it's Chris Calderon. How you doing?
Hey Chris, I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, good. Hey Mike, nice to meet you, Michael.
Hi Chris,
welcome.
you too.
Chris.
My question is more around the kids and the sort of the flow of the kids coming in and adults and members coming in between the practices and stuff once the bubble goes up. And how are you going to manage that one? Staggering in and out, that kind of thing.
Absolutely. So what we will be doing in the upcoming weeks, we'll come out with all of our up-to-date protocols on how we're going to be managing that type of thing. So we're first kind of waiting to see what the government officials are going to, tell us and what the updated things are. But definitely, that's going to be a major one, is just making sure that the flow, because in the past, you just have a whole bunch of truckloads of kids coming in, adults coming out, and it's just a bit of a free for all. But it's going to have to be very structured there, and we might have to, we'll see what we'll do there. I don't know, Michael, if you wanted to add anything to that. But
yeah, I think a couple things I can see now is that we're going to have markings on the floor so people don't run into each other like they do everywhere, all stores and supermarkets and everything. So we'll have markings to keep people apart. And we will try to have people that are not coming into the club while we're clogged up in the club. So somebody goes into the bubble and somebody else comes in. That's just off the top of my head, but things will change as we get closer. But we will make sure that we'll have the protocols that the government requires.
Yeah, because again, it's like Michael was alluding to before, we don't want to be in a situation where we have a whole bunch of people in the club at the same time. So we just need to kind of,
Yeah, that's cool. I think, I know you guys will figure something out, but like you said, it does get pretty chaotic for about 8 minutes.
Exactly. For sure. Yeah, it's just going to have to be exactly. Well. Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
For the lessons, are we able to sign up for individual ones, like in that group series, or is it more like you sign up for the whole series?
Absolutely. So for you mean the ones like Shot of the Week and So that's absolutely. So you can pick and choose the weeks that you'd like to sign up for. It's not a commitment for more than 1 week. You just pick the weeks that you would like to register for.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Craig, it's Cynthia.
Hey, Cynthia.
Hi. I couldn't get in for the longest time, and it said it was an invalid meeting or something. Anyway, so I've just arrived. Are you going to send out a synopsis of what you've said up until now?
For sure. So I think actually this is going to be recorded. So what we will do, we'll just share it with the membership, and then you can have a look after. Yeah.
Great, because I think I probably missed everything I care about.
Well, there's ladies teams, if you're wondering.
No, is there really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
We're allowed. Yeah. Oh, yeah. We've got what's her name from the league. She reached out, and they're definitely we're going to have a ladies league, and we are going to submit a team. Hopefully, 2 teams. That would be the goal, if we can get enough ladies out. So, yeah.
I don't mean to take up a meeting with something you've already talked about, but how would that work? Like, would we go into people's clubs and play indoors when that?
Yes, absolutely. And what it would be, so, and that's why there's some clubs will not be able to participate because they are not going to be allowing guests, for example. But for the clubs that are allowing guests, we will be able to play at different clubs. And then for every club, of course, they will have their individual protocols in place, in addition to obviously the protocols that are mandated by municipal and provincial national government. But yeah, so that's it. We just have to follow all the rules, and then we can all play and have fun.
Greg, I can talk about guests for a minute here. As of yesterday, we are now allowing guests in our club, but a guest would have to sign the waiver that we all sign to book a court. So if you have a guest, just click on, we've sent out something. You can print the waiver, and just so long as you bring the waiver to the front desk prior to going on the court, that would be great.
Do they have to sign anything or let you know how to reach them, or get details from them in case someone who comes to the club plays and then tests positive?
Yeah, well, we can get that from the person that brings the guest in.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but that's the idea exactly. Just that's why it's important we trace everyone who comes in. Yeah.
And it's Emma, for the practices, do you imagine something special? Because with maybe 12 to more ladies on the court, it is okay in the bubble, and
as long as we keep to how we typically run our practices, we wouldn't have more than 4 ladies per court. And I mean, the only difference is just you know, we need to be very conscious of the physical distancing. So, you know, and myself and all the coaches are pretty seasoned at this by now after all these months running
with the kids.
all kinds of programs and the kids and keeping everyone apart. And so yeah, it's very, it's just a little bit more, yeah, a little bit of more work for the coaches to make sure everyone stays in check, but we've got it down. So that's not a problem.
The major change will be the off-court socializing.
Yeah.
We're on the court, it's the same as we've always done.
Right.
Mm-hmm. It's just the difference is, you know, I used to, Cynthia and Emma, like I used to say, okay, everyone stand over here while I do a demo and everyone's next to each other and we're all kind of hanging out. We can't do that, you know. We're going to keep the space. I can still do demos, but it's just making sure that that everyone keeps their distance and that sort of thing. And you know, even the way we structure certain drills, we set it up so that we avoid players kind of ramming into each other. Or, well, we do that anyways for safety, but you know what I mean. Making sure that people are safe.
Are you going to try and keep the bubble up for as long as possible?
Oh yeah, you should.
Yeah, I mean, for as long as we possibly can play outside, we should play outside.
Well, here's the deal. Here's the deal on the bubble. We are allowed to have the bubble up for 6 months. That's
Really?
not us choosing how long we're going to keep it up. I'm on good terms with the building inspector, so sometimes we can do it an extra week or two.
But I think, sorry, Michael, I think what Cynthia was suggesting was that we put the bubble up later than normal and take it down earlier than normal.
But how do you predict? That's the thing. You'd have to predict ahead of time because you have to get a permit. We get a permit from this date to a date 6 months. We would have to say, okay, we're not doing it October 5th, we're doing it October 31st, and then it will from October 31st to April 31st. But we don't know if October is going to be a lousy month. So we have to guess.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes it's great, and we've had this in the past where it's gorgeous weather in October. Why didn't we leave the bubble up? But we don't know.
And sometimes
December can be bad.
Snowing.
Yeah, no, I know. I wasn't aware.
Welcome
I wasn't
to
aware
Canada,
that it had to be that strict.
That's the bylaw. And we tried. I tried to argue. I was down at City Hall with a big meeting with Josh Matlow and a bunch of other people. We tried to say, well, you know, we're an academy and we give scholarships and you know, this is for the kids, et cetera, et cetera. 6 months exactly. Otherwise, we keep it up longer. It costs us something like $160,000.
Oh, is that all?
That's all.
But in our case, it should be shorter. If we could shorten the bubble length of time, maybe it would be better. Because I was not there at the very beginning of the session, but how are you sure about the safety inside the bubble and the coronavirus transmission? Is there studies, ventilation? How is it working? Because the ceilings okay, but it's my main concern to be inside something confined, because I feel confined in the bubble. So usually I feel safe, but in that case, it's a weird feeling.
Well, you know, we'll do some more investigating, but I'm sure nobody knows at the moment.
Yeah,
the story is, and our bubble is pretty big.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be concerned about it. It's what people are more concerned about: a small space in a building with bad circulation. You know, 10-foot high ceiling with 35-foot high ceiling.
And for the ventilation, you are using new air input in the bubble with cycles with
the air blows in through vents. I mean, you can see it where the vents.
We feel it also.
So it's constantly blowing in. Yeah.
Should we be wearing masks inside?
Well, we have to. The protocol is, and I've just been visited by the COVID police, is that we must wear masks inside the building.
But not inside the bubble.
I would doubt it because, I mean, I belong to a few gyms that have come back now, and we don't even have to wear masks while we're working out.
Wow, that's
It's a much
weird.
smaller area than our bubble. You can't play tennis in a mask.
And for
That
example,
would
for
be
the
horrible. No, I'm just.
for the kids, you will know as soon as some kid is positive. I hope there won't be, but with the school reopenings, because if you have a lot of many children positive in the bubble, and then we are coming for our practices, you will be aware of
Yeah,
the
well, we're
positive.
going to be on top of it.
Yeah. Okay.
And with, if anybody has any symptoms,
Yeah.
the membership will know.
Okay. Okay. Good.
And if one of the members or the children playing have COVID and it gets notified, does the club have to shut down for a few days to do some
Yeah,
meeting, or what's the program there?
It usually works out that the club would have to close to be thoroughly sanitized, professionally sanitized. So it's usually 2 or 3 days that we would have to close.
And they will do also contact tracing with the people who were there at the moment of the people,
Yes.
positive people.
Hopefully, I mean, we've been open since June the 1st, and we've had nothing.
Yeah, but the fall is coming and everybody will be inside. The schools are reopening, so I don't want to be bad.
I'm knocking on wood here, Emma.
Yeah, but okay, I know what it's like. So okay, so I hope.
We don't know. We don't
And
know.
folks, it's Chris. I mean, I think that goes back to my question and managing the flow of players in and out.
Yeah.
Because if you can really nail that one down, then really your indoor tennis experience won't be a whole lot different from the outdoor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent job these guys have been doing.
That's right.
And I think we could. Now, sorry, I know I'm I'm like a parent, but also I'm a huge fan, right? Like I just want this to go well, so like my daughter can have a great year indoors, and I think if it gets pulled off, that'd be great.
Yeah, thanks, Chris. Yeah, I agree though. That's a big one.
Can we wear
Also, if the kids,
until we're on our
get,
individual courts? Could a suggestion is we wear masks until we're on our individual courts, and then we put the masks on while we leave our court until
Correct.
Yeah.
out of the building.
yeah, that's what they're doing in Cincinnati.
I think the mask should stay on the kids until they drop their bags and their spot in and out of the bubble. And
Well, we should do that too.
Yeah, everybody should
everyone.
do that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to do that. I'd like to see others do it too.
Yeah. Yeah, we should.
I
Can you
think
make
that's-
that
I
point
think
to people? You will make that, that would be protocol inside the club, right? To wear a mask?
Correct.
Oh yeah.
We have to do that. We
Yeah.
have to do that.
Yeah.
And if any of the kids happen to pick up COVID, hopefully never, but in their schools, you would be alerted, right? So you would know that this kid who'd been playing got it from somewhere else, but still could have. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and then we would notify the membership.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Could you
As
have
soon
like
as we're notified, we
15-minute
notify the
window
membership.
after the kids program? But before the evening, like where it's mainly members, and like say there's a rush, the kids programs are high density. Could there be a 15-minute window before the members go on for their evening games, like so that it gives a chance for the kids to get out of the building with their parents?
Yeah, I think so. We're going to be exploring all kinds of different options with that, and that's certainly one of them. Is either finishing early or starting instead of starting 6:30, starting 6:45. Like we're going to be discussing that over the course of the next couple of weeks. And
Great.
The nice thing is we have a bit of time still before we go indoors, so we'll just make sure we have all our ducks in order, and yeah. That's definitely.
And the government will have
options.
Government will have protocols and suggestions because we're not the only place that's going indoors.
Exactly.
Okay. Well, thanks a lot for the update. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thanks,
me too.
thanks
Yeah.
everyone for coming.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
And
Sorry I was
please
late.
reach out if any other questions. Just reach out, please. And we're
So
going to be
where will
sending
we
out some
find-
information. on the program.
Where will we find the video? Will you send it out or
Yeah, I think probably what we'll do
on
is
the website?
we're going to send out a newsletter soon with the updates of our programming and so forth. So we'll include it in that. And then in the meantime, I don't know, Lawrence, if you have anything else to add to that.
Yeah, I can send it out actually directly to the members list. So I'll do that as soon as possible.
That's perfect. Thank you.
No problem.
Can I just ask one really quick question about the teams? Do we know if other clubs are also opening? Like, are we, like the BNR, the Boulevard, all of those other places are going to be?
Yeah. So
teams?
in terms of the teams, I'm not sure which clubs are. All I know is that there are some clubs that will be. I have, yeah, that's the information I got.
Okay.
They said, there's some teams interested. So I'll be able to probably find that out pretty soon now.
Cool.
Because the email was just sent out the other day, so gauging interest and.
Yes, because a lot of our opponents, other clubs in the A1 team are outside of Toronto and sometimes far away from the downtown. So I don't know how they will, so you don't know yet how they will manage that and if they have special regulations or something like that.
Well, I know that it's more, again, like we just need to follow the host club policies. That's what it's going to come down to. So that's pretty much it, right? Because those hosts, each club will be probably similar, I would imagine, but because of, different environments, some are in buildings, some are in whatever, they're, so there'll be some variations, but yeah. But yeah, so we'll be keeping you posted, and we'll be sending out. Yeah, you'll be hearing from us more and more in the upcoming weeks. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Have a good night.
See everyone
Bye-bye.
soon.
Bye-bye.
Nice to see you all.
Bye-bye.
Au revoir.
Au revoir.
Au revoir.